Gypsy, Gypsy, Rosalie. We're reliving memories. When people watch, it's pretty dope. First to the city, jumping all through the land with my double dutch team.
That was so great. That was so great. Did you two come up with that, or did it kind of come up organically?
Well, I came up with it. My daughter and son-in-law helped me a little bit because they didn't grow up with the double dutch jingles. I did, but they helped me with some of the words, some of the rhymes.
Oh, that is
But
so
this
great.
is something that we sing in all of our sub clubs across the country while we're jumping.
How many sisters are convening in Atlanta with you guys to catch this preview?
Right now, I think there's about 12 of us. It was just a handful of us today.
Yeah.
So
Here's
we're right
here's
here.
the
They
whole
only
team.
asked for a handful, but we have the capacity to bring, right, we could have packed the house out, but that's
Yeah,
not
I
what they
bet you
asked us
could.
to do this time.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Pamela, if folks want to get in on this, how can they reach out and become a part of this?
Any woman over the age of 40, so that means 40 and above. Our oldest member is 92 years old.
No way.
Anyone who's over the age of 40 can go to our website, www.40plusdoubledutchclub.org, and join us. We do more than just jump double dutch. We jump double dutch, we hopscotch, hula hoop, play Chinese rope, jacks, four corners. We do all of the games that we were doing when we were growing up back in the day. And in addition to playing together, getting outside and playing, we also go out in our communities. We're teaching the young people how to jump. We want to make sure that double dutch and playing outside does not die with us. We go out to the correctional facilities. We go to juvenile detention homes, to shelters. We go and feed homeless people. So we want to make sure we're not just out here having fun, but that we're also making an impact.
I absolutely love what you are doing. I have to ask you this. When you get new members and they hop in for the first time, okay, in a few years, is it like riding a bike? Can they just get in there and jump double dutch like they...
It's like riding a bike. and for those who never jumped before, we can teach anybody how to jump on the spot. If we were at your studio, we could bring this rope out and teach you all right now.
I would love to do
Yeah,
a segment.
got to come in and do that. You know, I
Let's
love
make
it.
a date.
It's such a good workout. Honestly, I'm not keep messing around. I think that we have room here. We could do it. We could do it up here or in Studio 32. That would be
Let's do it.
so much
Let
fun.
us know when.
You know,
Okay.
And I love it that you guys are not just doing jump rope, you're doing all the playground games.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we do all of it.
Yeah. You're full service.
We're taking a break from adulting, reliving childhood
Oh, I
memories.
think that is
I'm
so
all
great.
for that.
Hey,
New
what is the biblical quote about being a child to enter the kingdom of heaven? Isn't it?
That's right.
There you
It's
go.
easier to enter the kingdom of heaven
That's
Yeah.
if
right.
you're a child. So yes,
That's
we
right.
are bringing back our childhood.
I
and
absolutely
trying our
love this.
best to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Amen.
That's our goal.
Hey, I understand before we let you go that you guys did an elementary school assembly recently.
Yes. our
Tell us about
Aurora
that,
Sub
and
Club.
yeah, tell us about that.
Our Aurora Sub Club went out to a school on Thursday and did a Black History program, and they were absolutely amazing. They taught the kids how to jump. They taught the teachers how to jump. They taught administrators, and they brought a certain energy. There's an energy that we bring whenever we go out into any space that most people are not accustomed to anymore. We are women over 40. We proudly wear our names and ages on our backs. We are celebrating aging. We are showing what aging should look like and inspiring the younger generation. as
Well, you're doing something right because you guys both look fantastic. And
But thank you. She's over 50.
unbelievable. Please visit us sometime soon. We'll be in touch, okay, Pamela? And have a great
Okay,
time
it's a date.
down in Atlanta with the both of you.
Enjoy the movie.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
enjoy the
you.
premiere. Okay, that's
Okay.
Pamela Robinson, everybody, with the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club. How cool is that?
Yeah,
Mark?
that is cool. You know, back in 6th, 7th grade, we had a PE teacher that tried to get us to jump. Now, as 6th, 7th graders back in the day, you know, all us boys were like going, no, that's kind of a girl's thing. And then he kind of showed this,
A movie called Rocky?
Well, this was before Rocky.
Okay.
I'm old school. But he was showing how, like, Muhammad Ali would do that to keep in shape. He would be
Yes,
doing
and
jump
then all of a
rope.
sudden-
And it's like, All right, we're in.
It's a pretpretty amazing workout. I mean, it's full body.
I want to go do it now.
Man. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. But hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about different kind of dancing, different kind of stepping.
Okay.
Mark, we're closing in on St. Patrick's Day, very closely. The Trinity Irish Dancers, they are so amazing, and they are performing at the Auditorium Theater on Saturday. Here's a little preview of their. Today is Saturday.
Yeah, right.
It is the 28th, so tonight they're hitting the Auditorium Theater. We're going to check in with some of the leaders from the Trinity Irish Dance Company when we come back after this short break. Welcome back. Chicago Live on your Saturday morning. St. Patrick's Day. I'm looking here. Tuesday, March 17th.
Coming up.
Tuesday, March 17th. It's coming up. And, I mean, we're really zeroing in on this. And your forecast today took us out, what, to the first week in March?
Easily 10 days, but I showed you a kind of an extended forecast that went out to about 15th. It shows the temperature trend should be above average.
That's really, really promising to hear.
Right.
And you were saying, before we check, as we were waiting for the Trinity Irish Dance Company to join us via Zoom ahead of their big performance at the Auditorium Theater tonight, you were saying that this time of year it gets more and more difficult to get that Arctic air blowing south toward us.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, you know, the angle of the sun is higher in the sky, so we get more direct solar radiation, you know, as opposed to January when it's a very low angle. So we warm up quicker, we warm up more thoroughly. The other thing is the daylight is longer, so we have more sunshine. Those two things alone, and also the steering currents in the atmosphere tend not to be as strong as in the winter when we can have these super cold parcels of air break loose and then slide our direction. You know, and we were talking last week about how Chicago is kind of one of those places where you get to the point where it gets to be about St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And we've been bottled up. Now, this year we've had a couple of 60-degree days.
Yeah.
We've been able to go out and run amok in our you know, jammies or our shorts.
Yep.
But normally, St. Patrick's Day is one of those first times where the temperature breaks enough, the weather, even though sometimes it's cold, sometimes it snows.
It can be hit or miss,
But it's at least not 30 below zero, so we come out in mass to celebrate.
No, the city's for sure ready. A sea of green. You get a lot of you know, leprechaun-dressed folks downtown swarming, you know, for the river. the dying of the river. They've opened up this amazing Guinness facility, that Guinness brewery. Have you checked that out in West Loop yet? It's cool.
Where's that located?
It's really cool. It's right in the kind of the Fulton Market district.
Is that right? And they actually
Fulton
brew
Market,
Guinness here in the city.
You know, I'm not sure if they brew it here,
but they distribute it. Most importantly,
it's like a full-out Guinness. I think they do have some vats that they're brewing it here.
And either way, I'm a fan.
It's great, and they have certainly brought a cool party element to the festivities that were already. I mean, Boston and Chicago.
Yeah, those are your two places.
Yeah,
those are your two places. I spent a St. Patrick's Day in Scranton.
Scranton?
Yes, home of Dunder Mifflin.
Yes.
And they were so proud that they were number 3 on the list.
After Boston and Chicago?
Boston and Chicago. We're number, for little old Scranton, and they did.
So what do they do there?
They paint everything green, and they just run amok with green everything. So very Irish, heavy. Community, and they just.
That's good to know. That
number 3
little old
of all
Scranton
places.
I will say St. Louis as well. They do years ago when I was in my 20s and I could, I didn't have kids. And I could run amok.
Yes.
They have I think it's called The Landing. It's like a whole neighborhood.
Oh, sure, down by the Mississippi River.
Yeah, they do a whole St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
It gets big.
I
It
can
gets
imagine.
big stuff down there.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest traditions about St. Patrick's Day, and I love it as part of the news, is annually, almost on cue, we get a visit from at least some members of the Trinity Irish Dance Company visit us here in studio. We've got these smooth floors, which are perfect because I like hearing the tapping of the foot, the feet. And we are joined this morning by Chelsea Hoy from Trinity Irish Dance Company. She is joining us ahead of big performance happening at the Auditorium Theater. Chelsea, we are closing in on St. Patrick's Day, so this is your time to shine.
Yes, I'm calling you actually backstage right from the Auditorium Theater. We're in tech right now. The professional Trinity Irish Dance Company is gearing up for our annual home season performance tonight, one night only, 7:30 p.m. And this is an internationally renowned company. Our artists represent 13 states across the United States, Canada, Mexico, Ireland, and we've been on tour. We just got home from a week run in New York City, and we're really thrilled to be back at the iconic auditorium sharing world premiere and Chicago premiere work this evening.
This is so cool, and what a great venue to do this. Chelsea, tell us, what is progressive Irish dance? I don't know if that's different from the traditional that we're used to seeing. Right. And how is Trinity Irish Dance Company kind of different from Irish dance organizations?
Yeah, progressive Irish dance is a unique movement genre that was created by our founding artistic director, Mark Howard, 35 plus years ago. And this genre is all based in the traditions of Irish step dance, but really pushes the boundaries of what's possible for the form and allows it to breathe and evolve in the contemporary realm. So we are a repertoire company. We live inside of the nonprofit performing arts dance world, and it's all about creating work that celebrates the integrity of this rich cultural form, but also brings it into the contemporary space.
I understand this year you guys are celebrating 35 years, the 35th anniversary of Trinity Irish Dance. What is it about this particular ensemble that has stood the test of time?
Yeah, we're grateful to celebrate 35 years. That's a hard feat, I think, for any dance company, especially right now. This company is the beginnings of where Irish dance took a leap from the competitive world to the performing arts concert world. Mark Howard's work in the late 80s garnered a lot of national media exposure, which led to the evolution from a competitive form to a performing arts form about creating work, less about winning trophies. And I think it's the mission of Trinity and the essence of the people that have carried on this organization for 35 years that keep that flame lit. And I don't think we plan to go anywhere for the next 35 either.
I would agree with that. Will you tell us about kind of the scope and scale of tonight's performance? How many dancers, how many separate groups? What different kinds of performances will be featured?
Yeah, this evening we have 23 dancers on stage. 4 of them are experiencing not only their auditorium debut, but actually their Trinity Irish Dance Company debut
Oh, very cool.
here at home. We have a live band of 5 incredible musicians, and they're going to be joined as well for a special moment by 3 really A-list Chicago Irish musicians from the Chicago Irish trad scene. We have a guest artist, Taylor Yoakum, who performs inside of one of our works, The Sash. The evening is about a 2-hour performance, including a 20-minute intermission, and that includes 9 different dance pieces, as well as live music that's integrated throughout.
So we have one night only tonight. Then what happens between now and St. Patrick's Day?
For this company, St. Patrick's Day is really just any other day. We're a year-round touring dance company that lives inside of the artistic sphere. So of course, St. Patrick's Day, everybody wants to feel a little extra Irish always.
Always.
But we tour year-round, and so we just came off of our major season at New York City's Joyce Theater last week. We got stuck there for an extra day in the blizzard, but we're grateful to make it home midweek. And what's next for this company? There is a documentary crew that's been following us for our 35th anniversary season. There's a full-length documentary that will air nationally on public television coming up in the next year. And we just recently signed with a new agency that's working on completing our schedule for the next year. So this company is so proud to be from Chicago, and we carry Chicago with us wherever we go.
That's so great. What a feather in the cap for the city of Chicago. And I can't wait to see you guys in this documentary. That is going to be amazing. Can you give us an idea of how old the performers are and like how old they are when they start to get to the point where they can actually perform in a venue like the Auditorium Theater?
Yeah, our current dancers range in age from our youngest training company member is 17 years old. Our oldest dancer on stage today is actually myself. I'm 30. And, our musicians range in ages. But all of our artists, for the most part, have been dancing since the age of between 3 and 6 years old. It's really a dedication to their craft throughout their childhood. Most of us grow up competing, and that's where we hone our technical craft. And then Trinity Irish Dance Company invites artists to kind of take everything they've learned and throw a lot of it away and evolve into the performing arts sphere, where they get exposed to a lot of different movement genres and celebrate their craft that they've trained throughout their life, but through an artistic lens.
So as you pointed out, this is kind of a young ladies' game. What do most of the young ladies do when they take their next step? What is the next career after dancing?
So the Trinity Irish Dance Company is uniquely built for artists to maintain a full-time academic career or a full-time professional career, as well as keep the performing arts at this very high level as part of their lifestyle. So all of our artists are already set up for what's next because they're actually doing it currently. We have dancers in college, we have dancers in grad school, we have graphic designers and architects and EMTs, we have dancers in med school. Everyone really covers a wide range of skill sets, a wide range of what they're passionate about, but we're all bound together by this common passion for the arts, for dance, and for Trinity Irish Dance Company's specific mission.
Chelsea, how old were you when you first started?
I originally started when I was 4, but after a while, my mom asked me what my favorite part of dance class was, and I said the water break. So she pulled me out of class for a while, and I decided to put my shoes back on at the age of 6. So from 6 years old onwards.
Oh my gosh. now you're the elder statesperson of the troop.
That's right. I'm climbing the ranks.
Oh my gosh. Well, break a leg tonight, figuratively speaking. I hope it's a huge success. We're so proud that you guys are part of the Chicago family and representing us all around the country, really. So thank you so much, and have a great performance tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Yes, indeed. Auditorium Theater.
I find that a lot of people that are successful in their careers do take that mid-career break, between age 4 and 6.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Keep
it's
fresh.
called the early life crisis. You take a little sabbatical.
Yeah, kind of, explore the world, find out what you're up against. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's awesome.
I really hope they pay us a visit. Okay, we are going to switch gears. And speaking of opportunities for young people, everybody, the city of Chicago makes a big effort, Park District in particular, to get their positions filled for the summer. It's not too early to start thinking about that summer gig, young people. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to bring in Keith Jones into the conversation here with the Chicago Park District. He's a supervisor there. Keith, happy Saturday, man.
Happy Saturday. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Got Anthony Ponce here, Mark Strell, and Set. All right, let's go through this. Who are you guys looking for in terms of candidates here? Give us some of the parameters and the age requirements.
So even 13 to 15-year-olds can be involved in our recreation and leader training. That's getting them ready for essentially a camp counselor position. Our summer rec leaders, they're the core of all our summer camps we have for thousands of our amazing youth throughout our great city of Chicago. So they can come to our teen opportunity fairs, 16 and over, and we have one happening today at Malcolm X from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is our 10th anniversary of our teen opportunity fairs. They can come and apply and learn more about the positions that we have. So this is amazing that we've been doing this for 10 years, and it's really focusing on our teenagers throughout our amazing city. They can learn about the positions that we have available, everything from junior laborers, being a landscaper outside, a lifeguard, which we've seen a big uptick in applications throughout the year. So just a wide range of positions that they can find out at our teen opportunity fairs.
I'm so glad to hear that there's an uptick in lifeguards, because it seems like, just a few years ago, it was kind of tough to recruit lifeguards, and a lot of places kind of had to grow them themselves.
Yeah, we saw a 48% versus from 25 to 24 of applications. So we're expecting to have all our pools open. We have 50 pools throughout the city, 27 indoor, including some also with our great partners from CPS. So we expect to have all our pools open with these amazing lifeguards 7 days a week, which we haven't had that since pre-COVID. So yeah, we've seen definitely a big uptick in applications, and we're actually doing something new this year with our lifeguards. We're going to be covering the cost of the American Red Cross, the lifeguard test, where they get the life-saving skills, CPR, first aid, AED training. So we're going to be helping them out with that this year to entice more lifeguards so we can have them working, on our gorgeous beaches of the Chicago lakefront or in the communities that they grew up in, and giving back to the neighborhood that they grew up in, and working at that local pool that hopefully maybe they swam at, in the summers.
Yeah, have a full circle moment there. That's great that you guys are underwriting that really, really important training that can be life-saving. Let's hear a little bit more about the event today. Is it going on right now as we speak?
It is. It's happening at Malcolm X. Again, this is our 10th anniversary. We're encouraging, parents, caregivers, those teenagers, 13 to 15-year-olds. We do have opportunities for them with stipend programs. But ages 16 and up, they can come and not only hear from the Chicago Park District about the great summer jobs that we have available, but we have colleges, we have amazing partners that are going to be there. So there are other opportunities. Yes, we'd love to have all the teenagers with us. And again, we're expecting 2,600, and we're expecting to fill that, which just doubles our workforce, going to 6,500. But yeah, today is our one for our central region happening at Malcolm X, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we added something new to the series next Saturday, March 7th, at our Brighton Community Park series, which is also our headquarters, deaf and hard of hearing. So those who are deaf and hard of hearing can come and learn about the opportunities and apply, and those in the transitions, they can find out. And then we have one more happening on March 14th. That's going to be happening at Kennedy College. on March 14th. So more opportunities with teenagers cannot just make it today. So, but then obviously our website is still the best option at ChicagoParkDistrict.com if they'd like to apply.
Do these, you ran through some of the different positions that are available, from landscaping to lifeguarding to camp counseling. In terms of pay scale, do they vary across the different job descriptions, or does it depend on your age? What goes into that, and kind of what are the ranges here hourly?
So I don't have the exact rate. You can see those at our website
Okay.
at ChicagoParkDistrict.com. But if you, yeah, it's slightly, they're around the same. Lifeguards are, definitely much more important of protecting the lives of Chicagoans on the lakefront and our pools. So yeah, they will get just a little bit more, but very competitive, I'd say, to other seasonal jobs we'd have for our recreation and leader training. But the making a difference is what we try to push. I mean, yeah, they're making money, but a lot of these kids were campers in their neighborhoods, and now they get to give back and make a difference. And hopefully, a career path. A lot of them start out and they've been with us for 30 or even 35 years, and now they're supervisors and just working their way up in this great field that we have.
That is so cool.
Great to see lifers stick around. Right. All right, Keith, thank you so much. I hope it's a huge success today. And we'll let you get back to work, because I know the stuff's going on right now, and we appreciate you taking time for us.
Thank you for having me, and ChicagoParkDistrict.com is where to go. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you, sir. What was your first summer gig, Mark?
Well, corn detasseling as like a 12-year-old kid.
That was Maggie's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did corn detasseling. We were talking about Omaha and that sinkhole.
Yeah.
She grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and as you know, that's the Cornhusker State.
Yeah, no doubt.
So she did that detasseling. I think she got paid a few cents an hour in those years in the mid-'80s.
I was probably $1.80 or something.
$1.80.
And it's a tough job to do. And what you do, for folks that have never done it before, this is seed corn. So these are corn plants that are used to plant more corn in the future. And they come through, there's a machine that cuts off the tassels. They have to do that, but they have to make sure all of the tassels are out. So you have to go in and you gotta pluck those babies out. And I'll guarantee, it's going to be the hottest, humidest day. It probably rained a day or two before, so your feet are going to be caked in mud. They're going to have an extra 3 pounds apiece in mud. And then the corn stalks are going to just kind of
slice your...
they're not real bad, but just enough to be annoying.
Yes, okay. That sounds like a wild gig. All right.
Enough to buy my first scuba tank.
Oh, there you go.
So I had a goal.
You saved up?
Yeah. I saved up for a scuba tank.
For a scuba tank?
Yep.
And you went scuba diving?
Absolutely.
Mark.
That was the little
I need to know more.
At the end of the stick.
I can't. My first summer gig was at Ravinia Festival. I think we got paid $4.75 an hour to guide. I wasn't parking cars, I was guiding.
How cool is that, though?
It was cool to be able to hear the songs.
Yeah.
Hear the shows.
Right?
But I don't remember saving up for anything. I think I made enough that covered the train fare to get to the job. So by the end of the day, I broke even.
Well, you had free music.
I got free music, that's right.
Got to meet some cute girls that summer, too, I'm sure.
You know what? That did happen. That did happen.
There's the story I want to hear.
Yes,
more
indeed.
Right.
All right, so we are speaking with, is Brian on the line right now? Okay, we do. Okay, we are switching gears, and we're talking about, so Brian Lacien, is that how we pronounce your name?
Lacine, but it's good enough.
Lacine. He's with a personal injury law firm. And we're talking about this Ford recall. Okay, so we understand that there's a Chicagoland family who's been affected by an injury that was caused, and this wound up being the catalyst for the recall itself. It involves the EcoSport. But give us a little background, Brian, on this case and kind of how it all came to be.
Sure. And there was a motor vehicle accident a few years back, a couple years to be precise, and involving two vehicles, one being an EcoSport that came to stop on a roadway. And following an investigation, it determined that the half shaft, which we all know what a drive shaft is, makes the car move forward when the engine turns on. The half shaft is part of the transmission. They weren't fully inserted. And so a woman driving the vehicle, her vehicle just, it was on, was not moving. And unfortunately, one of two people who were in a vehicle behind were caused to impact them because they just could not turn in time. It was a busy road where it happened. There was an investigation. Myself, as well as another law firm, are involved in the case, and it resulted in a recall of about 18,000 EcoSports that were manufactured overseas. And in looking at this, Ford determined in looking back that there had been a number of warranty claims, about 175, and about 60 of them dealt with the loss of motive power, which is just basically the engine's on, but you can't move the vehicle. The other dangerous aspect of this is if this happens and you put your vehicle in park, because it's a failure in the transmission system, you're going to have the rollback situation depending on if you're on a driveway with it, any sort of angle.
Right.
When you talk Ford EcoSport, you're talking about an engine, correct?
When I'm talking about Ford EcoSport, the case that I'm involved in, it involves the transmission.
But the EcoSport itself, it's not a model of the car, it's the engine. What model Fords are we talking about that these are in?
Oh, the EcoSport is a model of car.
Okay.
It's a smaller SUV.
Very good. Gotcha.
And I think you're referencing, and it's a similar name, a type of smaller engine that deals with a few different vehicles.
Gotcha.
including The EcoSport.
Gotcha.
So it's easy to blend those. And so the EcoSport is also part of a different recall that was in 2024 that covers about 130,000 vehicles where there's a failure of an oil pump, and that involves a type of engine, a 1-liter engine, where different mechanism where the oil pump fails can cause the engine to seize, and also by the way these cars are put together can cause a loss of braking because it can affect the pump system which interacts with the brakes. You can have a similar situation where the vehicle is loses power, and if you're on a roadway, drivers are at risk.
That's bad, right?
All right.
Yeah,
So,
that's bad.
all right. So, what would be your message then if folks have the EcoSport out there? Is this recall pretty? Are people complying? Is it in effect? What do people need to know, really?
Yeah. So what people need to know is, some of the vehicles may or may not be within your warranty where you're oftentimes interacting with the dealership. But you should contact a Ford dealership to see if your car is subject to any recalls, including this one. And if it is, take it in. And, it's on Ford to notify owners of these vehicles. But, it is always a good thing to sometimes be proactive, contact your dealer, provide the VIN or the make and model and year of your vehicle, and they would run it and tell you. And when it's a recall, the modifications or changes or repairs would be at no cost to the owner of the vehicle.
Got it. Got it. Now, could we see more cases like yours stemming from this particular recall?
That unfortunately can happen. Over the course of, I was involved years ago in the Takata recall with the airbags, and that was tens of millions of vehicles.
Right.
And it was multiple manufacturers such as Toyota or Ford or General Motors. And unfortunately, there was a number of cases in different years where people were severely injured due to that defect involving the airbags that were in the news. That was probably about a decade ago. So unfortunately, with certain types of vehicle defects, you can see multiple situations involving injury or fatality, given the nature of the product.
All right. Brian, anything else we should know about the situation and kind of what happens from here?
Yeah, I think it's always important that people, if they do get a notice to take their car in,
Yeah.
dealerships, they're actually paid by manufacturers to make the repairs. So as far as the aspect from the dealers are receiving money from manufacturers. It's always important for the public to think, well, I only have one vehicle. I need my vehicle to drive to work. Oftentimes, they don't tell you up front, but if you ask, they'll provide reimbursement for rental vehicles so that, oftentimes some of these vehicles are the only vehicle that someone has to get their kids to school or work. But if you ask the dealerships, they can oftentimes provide reimbursement for rentals so that it minimizes the impact on the owners.
That's good to know.
Yeah, very good to know. Brian Lacine, thank you very much for the info.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, sir.
All right, you have a good one.
weekend. Okay. Some more consumer news when we come back from cars to food. We've been reporting widely that certain synthetic dyes have gradually been removed from certain products. So coming up, we're going to be speaking with a doctor, Dr. Juanita Mora, with the Chicago Allergy Center, and she is going to be talking to us about the increased risk of some behavioral issues in children when it comes to some of these, and perhaps the correlation between that and some of these synthetic dyes. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Chicago Live, Saturday morning edition. Anthony,
Good to have you here, by the way.
Alongside Mark Strell. Good to be here with you, sir.
I've seen you on
It's
the air
always a
about
pleasure.
80 hours this
Yes,
week.
yes, yes.
You are the Iron Man of this station.
Can I put that on my resume?
Yes, Iron Man.
Under other skills? Mark, thank you, man. We are talking about something important when it comes to our kids' health here. Target has actually decided to remove synthetic dyes from their cereals. And here to discuss the importance of this and the implications, we have Dr. Juanita Mora. She is the CEO of the Chicago Allergy Center, and she is a national medical spokesperson for the American Lung Association. Dr. Mora, thank you for being here.
Oh, such a pleasure to discuss such an important topic with you guys.
I'm glad it's important because I like talking about important things rather than non-important.
And this is important. And, I've got to tell you, I've got a little bit of frustration with this. We're talking about some of the dyes that have been in food. We've known about these issues for years. Am I right?
Correct. Many, many years. And lots of studies showing there's definitely a lot of issues that come in kids and adults. And there's definitely allergies to dyes as well, too. So I'm glad that Target has made this decision into making a healthier food options for our kids and adults.
Why
Okay.
have we not done stuff
Yeah.
sooner?
That's the million-dollar question. But can you speak to the importance of removing synthetic dyes from cereals and other products? What difference will it make going forward? And for those of us who have just grown up with these dyes, I mean, I've been eating Flaming Hot Cheetos and Fruit Loops, for much. I mean, not anymore, but
Well, I thought that was a bowl you had this morning. Yeah, no?
Oh, that was chicken chili. But yeah, can you speak to the importance of getting these things out of the food?
No, exactly. And I grew up too on Fruit Loops and the colored M&Ms, everything else too, right? But what we're seeing is studies have shown us that dyes can definitely have behavioral changes in kids. So they've been associated with increased ADHD prevalence in kids, increased anxiety, an increased rate of even aggression in kids when it comes to the colored dyes. As an allergist, I'm also worried about dye allergies. It has a prevalence about 2% in children, and there's some adults as well too. So getting rid of these dyes makes it a safer food option for kids with food allergies as well.
What is some of the data showing about, I know ADHD and ADD diagnoses are more and more common these days, but what is the data showing in terms of the correlation here between these dyes and these mental health conditions?
Sure. So the ones that have been very well studied include the red dye, which is one of the most commonly used, yellow dye, and blue dye. And what we've known from the actual studies is that when they've looked at kids who've eaten, consumed foods with these dyes, is they have an increased behavioral pattern change. And those include ADHD, ADD in adults as well too, an increased prevalence of mental illness that includes anxiety disorders. And also when it comes into adulthood, as these kids become adults, there's an increased rate of depression that's also been seen in studies with association with these dyes. So this is why the actual change to remove them now, I think, is a wonderful change into making healthier options and safer for the health of our children as well.
I think we should get to Mark's question.
This is really something that I'm passionate about, and I'm angry about that it has taken so long to get this crap out of our food supply, and talk a little bit about, because I can come up list after list after list of dyes that are used here in the United States, but they don't use in Canada, they don't use in Europe, they've long since been banned. Talk about some of those.
No, exactly. And that's something we've seen. And these are the pros and cons, right? When it comes to marketing, a lot of companies use these dyes. Why? Because they attract kids, right? When they're going through a shelf, these kids are looking at for the red cereal or the green cereal or the blue cereal, etc. It's a market attracted. So when we are looking at removing dye, companies are also thinking, and maybe this is why it hasn't happened in years, is one, is it going to be as marketable? Two, it's not going to look as pretty, right? It doesn't have the colors. It's usually kind of a beige color when we take out the dyes, etc., when it comes to cereals or even other foods. And then we're also looking at when it comes to basically seeing completely the whole thing, we're looking at other things happening as well in terms of, obviously more mental health disorders, etc.
Man, this is a wake-up call. Now, for clarity here, just because you remove a synthetic dye from a certain cereal does not equal the fact that the cereal is healthy. We still have to be worried about sugar amounts and that kind of thing, correct?
That is correct. So it does not equal a healthy choice. So parents still have to look at the cereal contents, look at the sugar content, because it can look nice and without dyes, but have a big sugar load. So we still want to make breakfast a healthy option when it comes to the breakfast of our children or even our adults as well.
Any other information that you want to get out there before we let you go, Dr. Moore, that you think parents, I've got a 4-year-old right now, I've got a 10-year-old, what do I and other parents need to know going forward when we go out shopping at the grocery?
Well, one, make sure that when you're looking for healthier options, yes, that this is a wonderful step in the right direction, taking rid of the dyes. Two, it's going to make it for a safer food option for kids with dye allergies and adults with dye allergies as well, too, which can cause severe life-threatening allergies. 3, it's going to help improve the mental health of our children, less risk of ADHD and so forth. So when we discuss why the beige cereal is better for our table rather than the color, this is a conversation to have with the kids and explain it to them. Because I always think it's good to partner up with the kids and really make them a partner in their choices and why it's healthier. And, cut up fruit. This is what we need to do more of. Fruits, veggies, and good actual foods, because like you guys said, Europe doesn't use all these dyes. It's a lot of natural products, and we should go back to more natural products because we definitely have seen an increased rate of obesity, diabetes type 2, mental disorders with ADHD, anxiety, depression, etc., and even bullying that's more associated with dye allergies than just the normal actually keeping a healthy diet.
A lot of advantages to just eating that beige cereal instead of
healthy.
Yeah,
What a
thank
concept.
you so much, Dr.
Yeah.
Juanita Mora. Really appreciate your time and expertise.
You're welcome.
this morning.
Have a beautiful day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you, you too.
You too. You too. Yeah, it's amazing how just the color of the food is so important when it comes to marketing this stuff to kids.
Well, and to your point, you take the dyes out doesn't mean that that's still going to be a healthy choice necessarily. But, you've got to start somewhere. And this is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. And it just amazes me. If you spend a little bit of time, doing a fact-based check to see some of the elements that are used, you would never put that stuff in your mouth.
Gosh, I know.
Never put it in your mouth, let alone your kids.
A string of consonants in the name, and you're like, ooh, I don't think I should be consuming that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but then we're going to talk about another healthy choice when we get back. We're going to talk about beer. Beer, ale, IPAs. This is a big beer fest. This is the 2026 Chicago Beer Fest. 65 plus breweries. We'll get all the details when we come back after this. Okay, beer lovers, get ready to taste the best brews in town and join the fun at the 2026 Chicago Beer Fest, which is going to feature 65 plus breweries, and it is happening at the Field Museum. What a cool venue for this festival. Okay, to tell us all about it, we are joined by Dan Silberstein. Dan, can you hear us okay, sir?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us here. What is this? I did something similar to this at the Lincoln Park Zoo one year. It was an absolute blast. Obviously, that was during one of the warmer months of the year where you kind of tour around the zoo, sample beers.
Oh, really?
It was really, really fun. And this one is happening indoors. It's the 2026 Chicago Beer Fest. Dan, tell us all about this event. What do we need to know here?
So much like the Chicago Zoo event, this one features 65 breweries, about 200 different beers, and you get to walk around and sample whatever beers you like while exploring the museum. And while not in the summer months, the benefit of doing an event like this in the winter is that you're indoors and don't have to worry about the weather.
That
Yeah,
is so
I like that.
nice. It's getting colder today, so it's nice. What kind of beers are we talking about here? Are they all local Chicago breweries, or are we talking about stuff from around the country, around the world?
Well, the focal point is Chicago, so we try to get as many Chicago breweries on board initially, and then expand the invitation to regional breweries from Indiana or Missouri, so on and so forth. And I think one of the things that makes this event unique, in addition to being inside a museum, is that we purchase all our beer. And when you do that, breweries tend to bring kind of really unique offerings that they don't often do when they donate their beer. So we have some bourbon barrel stouts from Goose Island. We have Dark Lord coming from Three Floyds out of Indiana. We have Morning Delight Stout from Toppling Goliath out of Iowa. So we have some really, really good offerings, and the breweries are really trying to put their best foot forward.
Dan, I assume you got your finger on the pulse of the local brewery scene, right?
To some degree, yeah.
Why are local breweries, the number of local breweries shrinking in Chicago? We're down, what, 15, 18% over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I actually just heard of two that we used to work with in this past week alone. Some breweries that shouldn't have been breweries to begin with, but I also think Chicago had what I understand is an oversaturation breweries, where at one point there were 200 breweries and one of the highest densities of breweries of any city in the country.
Wow.
So there might have been oversaturation. This could just be correction. Then another argument is that just a younger generation are drinking less, and the people who attended beer festivals 20 years ago now have kids and stay at home on the weekends.
That's me.
But the younger generation grew up during COVID, and with their iPads aren't as
Thirsty?
maybe social as the previous generations. So they're not inclined to go out to festivals, and they're also not inclined to drink, and are drawn to THC seltzers and cannabis and non-alcoholic drinks.
I've heard that explanation quite a bit.
We have 1 minute now, so maybe how many vendors can you hit? There's 65. Obviously, no one can stomach that much. But what would be a good strategy to approach tonight, real quickly, because we don't have too much time?
We provide all the attendees with an untapped beer list, so they can see all the offerings. So I think the best, most prudent way is to kind of seek the beers you want to try or the breweries you're curious about and hit those first, and then kind of explore your way beyond that. But at least you know you're getting the ones you want to sample initially, and then kind of walk around the museum, enjoy the venue. We purchase enough product that it shouldn't run out. So I call it the puppy litter mentality. When people are afraid that the beer is going to run out, they overcompensate and drink too much, like puppies do with food. But if they know that the beer is going to be, they're not going to overconsume, and they kind of manage themselves a little better than some other events.
Dan Silverstein, we're out of time. Thank you so much. ChicagoBeerFestival.com.
Making a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces, and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that, with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
And that was a video message from President Trump posted very early this morning to social media. We keep playing it here every hour in case you are just tuning in. That's the latest we have heard from President Trump on this. I also did want to share some more news we have coming in. This is a post from the Islamic Republic of Iran saying Iran's foreign minister held a phone call with a Russian counterpart following these strikes. And this comes as Russia said today they condemned the U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran as a, quote, pre-planned and unprovoked act of armed aggression against a sovereign and independent UN member state, demanding an immediate halt to the military campaign and a return to diplomacy. In a statement posted to Telegram, the foreign ministry accused Washington and Tel Aviv of hiding behind concerns about Iran's nuclear program while actually pursuing regime change. It warned the attacks risked triggering a humanitarian, economic, and possibly catastrophic crisis there in the region, and accused the U.S. and Israel of plunging the Middle East into an abyss of uncontrolled escalation. So we did want to share that here with you. Now, I also wanted to put this back up on your screen because in just a moment here, we are going to have Alex Trayman joining us. He's a friend of the show. And we've been answering your questions here with our experts. Please continue to write in. We've gotten some great questions about all of this. We want to continue to answer what questions you have about all of this here on Live Now from Fox with our guests. So scan that QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Head to livenowfox.com/connect. If